morning, students. This morning we want to talk about the definition of financial accounting and, of course, its importance to us and, of course, to the society. You need to understand why the study of importance is necessary to accounting students. In our previous classes, we have also explained the differences between accounting and, of course, bookkeeping. But today we are still going to look at the definition as well and also the importance of accounting. Okay, now, having understood what accounting is all about, in our previous class we said that accounting involves the summary or summarization of financial information. It involves also the classification. Yes, classification. We also have the communication. Yes, in accounting, there's need for communication uh, exercise. And of course, this one will be my final, the interpretation of financial information. Yes, all of this explains what accounting is all about. Accounting helps us to understand, oh, recording should have been here. Yes, very important. Accounting involves the recording, very important. Accounting involves the recording of financial information. It involves how these reports or financial information can also be summarized. When I talk about summary, I mean the ability to put it in black and white, the ability to put it in writing, okay, either to a layman or to students. Accounting helps us to understand the essence of classifying the report. Yes, in accounting, uh, you are able to classify the report into different analyses. Yeah, in accounting, we there is need for students or teachers to learn or to understand the essence of communication, the essence of communicating accounting to both users and non-users so that everyone can be carried along. Yes, in accounting information, you need to be able to communicate the reports, communicate financial transactions for everyone to understand. Then after all of that, the most important one is interpretation of financial information. After you have finished preparing this work, summary, classification, communication, recording, and of course, there is need for your work to be interpreted. There is need for the financial report, okay, to be interpreted by way of explanation, by way of communication, okay, by way of allowing others to understand what you have actually done. Okay, that is what accounting is all about. It is a language of business that is concerned with the records, that puts all of this analysis into a proper interpretation. That is just that about the definition of accounting. In all of this, I believe my students in our previous class have explained. In this class also, I've also brought you back, okay? I brought your minds back, okay, to the definition of what accounting is all about. So we are not going to have issues on that, okay? Accounting helps us to understand what summary, it helps us to understand what summary is all about in terms of reporting our information, how we can summarize reports, okay? How classification is essential in accounting, and of course, how communication is essential, and of course, how we can record, which is the most important as well, and interpretation of financial information. Is that understood? Now, let us talk about another important aspect of accounting, which is the importance of accounting. Yes, we want to see how accounting is so important to us. Yes. Importance of accounting. Yes. When we say something is important, we attach the word importance to accounting because it's something that is a topic or a subject, as the case may be, a subject that no one can do without. Yes, accounting is so important that it helps us to understand the need for recording. Now, one of the major importance of accounting is profitability purpose. Yes, motive. Profitability. Yes, accounting helps us to evaluate. In accounting, we're able to evaluate the performances, okay, of a particular event or some events of some activities that has taken place. That is what we want to understand. The profit of a particular transaction, the profit of a particular analysis. Yes, that is what accounting helps us to do. Okay, by showing to us what has actually happened, okay, at a particular point in time, it helps us to evaluate. Okay, it helps us to do what we call assessment of a particular um, transaction. Is that understood? Now, accounting helps us to plan. Yes, for planning purposes. Planning. When we say planning purposes in accounting, this is a situation whereby decisions has to be taken based on events. Decisions has to be made, both the long run decisions and of course the short run decisions. That is what we mean by planning purpose. As an accountant, there is need for you to understand the importance of planning. As an accountant, there is need for you to understand why you must plan, why you must forecast, why you must take decisions ahead so that there will be no loopholes. Yes, that is what accounting does. It helps you to understand the essence of planning. Nonetheless, accounting helps us to prevent fraud. Prevention of frauds. And the question is, what is fraud? Fraud means misinterpretation of reports. Fraud can be seen as a misappropriation of funds or miscalculation. Okay, yes, that is the essence of the reports prepared by accountants. In order to avert fraud, fraud is not an error. Fraud is almost an intentional act. Okay, it's not an error. Somebody was saying, is fraud an error? No, it's not an error. Okay, although it could be seen as an error in terms of calculation when someone who is not clear, okay, is making a kind of calculation, you'll be like, what is going on? There's an error here. But to the person who committed such act, to such person, it's not an error because it's an intentional act. Okay, it's an intentional act that is being perpetrated by a particular person. Okay, now in order to be able to prevent fraud, okay, by individuals, accountants have decided to come into some kinds of checks and balances in order to be able to avert fraud. Is that understood? Yes. Another thing we must understand about the importance of accounting, it helps us to monitor. Yes, say the word monitor the progress of the firm. Helps us to monitor the progress of the progress of the firm. Is that understood? I hope you can see what I'm doing. Yes, it helps us to monitor the progress of the firm as things are going on, as activities are taking place. Accountants are taking notes. Accountants are doing what we call stock taking. Okay, following things accordingly, following things quietly and peacefully, doing what we call checks and balances, stock in and stock out. Okay, the progress of the firm will be ascertained. The progress of the firm will be understood. There will be no need for much stress because you are following accordingly. Is that understood? I think on a final note, we'll have what we call decision-making process. Decision-making process. Yes. accounting makes us to take some certain decisions. Yes, in accounting, we we have a right to take some certain decisions based on our facts, based on figures. Yes, based on what you have seen in the previous report, based on what you are expected to see or but what you intend seeing in your previous report. Accounting helps us to be able to take some certain decisions ahead of time so that there will be no mistakes, so that errors will be minimized, errors will be reduced. Is that understood? So in accounting, we are able to take some certain decisions to avert some certain mistakes. So I believe at this point we have been able to understand, okay, what accounting is all about, and of course its importance. In our next class, we are going to be talking about the various branches of financial accounting. Is that understood? So thank you.